My name is Josh Conrad. I'm a senior and graduating in December, and I came to Evangel choosing psychology. I originally thought I was going to be like a pastor, like a church leadership major, but then some things shifted during my gap year because I realized I'm not sure I'm able to write a sermon every day. But then I realized I'm a lot better with people one-on-one. And so that's kind of why I got into psychology, and then it was like, oh, Evangel looks like a great place for psychology. This is kind of, it's a much easier semester for me because I put a lot of my front work into my freshman, sophomore, and like the first part of my junior year. So I've got about 12 credits, 12, 13 credits that I'm doing right now. I'm just wrapping up some school projects. I've got a couple things lined up long-term that I'm taking care of over time. But I'm also prepping for getting married to my fiance, Abigail Holmes, at the end of this year, because that'll be exactly a week after graduation. So we're just kind of making plans for that, organizing the hotel, working out catering, stuff like that. The prayer room comes to mind because I love that sense of solitude. Um, I mean, I live in a townhouse and I might be an only child, but it's still hard to find those spots where it's just there's so much space dedicated to just being able to engage in God in silence, but especially the community. I'm gonna miss being able to make as many guy friendships because I have a much easier time like being friends with girls. And so, like, that's no problem, but being in such close proximity helps me get to know my suite mates a lot better, and they've just been a blast. Nathaniel Bennett and Vance Bichon, they've been the best. I'm going to be taking a gap semester after I'm done here, and so Abby and I are going to head back to Virginia. And so I'll just be doing some work part-time before I start grad school, ideally here. That's just a matter of getting my application into. That's another thing I'm doing. But yeah, I think we're just going to have a nice time taking a breather before, life really starts. We're going to have some time to transition, get used to each other in married life. And ideally explore some battlefields too, because Abby wants to write historical fiction. And so we've got a lot of battlefields out in Virginia. Late night talks, never forget them, never pass them up. Like homework you'll get to, like there's a time and place for everything here, but I wish I could go back and tell my younger self, like, hey, like don't be afraid to just like ask people out on walks, like, your friends, your suite mates, the people you'd like to get to know, like just don't be afraid to take that time to really get to know people, because that's been the best part of my college career, and I feel like I'm just going to be working to recreate that as best I can in real life, and I want to be able to like pass on parts of myself to other people, and I feel like the best way to do that is like, for me, it's one-on-one talks with people and just getting into just the deep stuff of life, and I feel like it's not going to happen unless you're willing to say, all right, this thing will happen, like I'll get that thing done, it will come eventually, but right now I want to focus on you